Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about samples, Scentsy samples, and I will also include a link to my most favorite sample group. And what I want you to do though is don't get too caught up in some of the samples that you see there, because sometimes people go completely overboard with their Scentsy samples and they don't have to be like that. So I don't want you to feel discouraged or anything like that or feel like you have to do that. Honestly, I don't think it's very smart because samples aren't a huge income producing activity. They can definitely help and do business, but if you're spending all that money making it cutesified and all of that extra over the top stuff, you're not making money. You're wasting valuable time on what could be used to working on sponsoring, working on creating new customers, taking care of your customers. There's a lot more other things you can do. But again, sampling does have its place. And so, because you know how it is, like when you go to Costco or you go to Sam's and like you see like a new product or something that you probably would never have bought, but if you get to taste it, then you're like, oh my gosh, I need more of this. That is what the power of the sample can do. One of my favorite things to sample is washer whiffs. If you want to up your Scentsy laundry game, 1 scoop of washer whiffs in a little plastic container or in a little plastic Ziploc bag thingy, wonders for your business. But here's what I want you to do with your samples. Again, we talked about this earlier in a previous video, is you need to be smart about your sampling. Don't just if you hand a Scentsy sample out, you best be getting their information, or if they're already a customer, you need to take notes so you can follow up with that sample. Because if you don't have a paper trail for where that sample goes, you're just sensifying the world and not getting anything back. And I know that sounds selfish, but you know what I mean. What I mean by that is like, that's not very smart business and you're gonna lose money more than anything. And people may try the sample and loved it, but then they got busy with something else. Whereas if you gave them a sample of the washer whiff, then say, okay, I'll follow up with you in a week and see what you thought about it. Or even a few days if it's just a sample. And then in a few days, you're like, oh my heck, Sally, tell me, did you love the washer whiffs? Oh my heck, Debbie, I totally loved them. Okay, can I get them? What size do they come in? That is the power that Scentsy samples can have. And so like I said, what I love most about that All About Samples page, like I mentioned earlier, is in the very first post is mostly all where I ever hang out, is it's got like a link to all the labels that she's created that for all of the products. So you can just print them out, slap them on the label, and you're done. And you don't have to reinvent that wheel. So that will save you a lot of time. But wax samples, you can do those with felt. There's so many different fun ways, simple ways that you can make sampling be a more income producing. But remember just to keep it Scentsy simple, and remember to put those necessary labels on there, especially like if you're doing a clean product or washer whiff, so that people can know what it is, how it's used, and the ingredients that are in it. And you will build, like I said, those labels I mentioned have all of that necessary information on them. Have fun with it.